and defensive end. My favorite South football memory is scoring against Amherst. My message to the underclassmen is just to work hard. I also play basketball. I like to think my mom, my dad, and all the coaches for pushing me these years. My future plans are to attend college.
Let's give it up for number 4, Isaiah Duncan. Our next senior, we are honoring on this senior night. Where's the number 8, Calvin Overcamp?
My name is Kelvin Overcamp. I've been a member of the South football program for 5 years. I played middle linebacker and tight end. My favorite South football memory is beating Lakeshore this year for homecoming. My advice to the underclassmen is enjoy your time in high school. It goes by really fast. I also play lacrosse. I've been a member of Williamsville South Lacrosse for 6 years now. I would like to thank my family foremost and all the coaches who have helped me get where I am today. My future plans are to become an engineer at the University of South Carolina.
Let's give it up for number 8, Calvin Overcamp. Our next senior, where's the number 13, Daniel Peoples?
And people, I was a member of the South football program for 3 years. I played wide receiver and DB. My favorite South football memory was at victory for Scammers. My message and advice to underclassmen: don't wait for your turn and make it yours. I also play basketball. I would like to thank my mom. I also play that continue school in the county.
Let's give it up for number 13, Daniel Peoples. Our next senior, we are honoring, where's the number 21, Cole Jessup?
My name is Cole Jessup. I've been a member of the South football program for 6 years. I play wide receiver and quarterback. My favorite South football memory was when I intercepted a pass in the end zone against Williamsville East. My message to the underclassmen is do things with your friends and get involved with anything you're interested in. I also play baseball. I would like to thank my mother and father for supporting me and getting me to practices. My future plans are to go to trade school for carpentry.
Let's hear it for number 21, Cole Jessup. Our next senior, wears the number 23, Dimitri Weirda.
My name is Dimitri Weirda. I have been a member of the South football program for 3 years. I play receiver and quarterback. My favorite South football memory is last year's game against Newport when it poured the whole game. My message to underclassmen is just be yourself, have fun, and enjoy the memories you make with your teammates because you'll remember them for the rest of your life. I also run track. I would like to thank my mom, grandpa, and family for being there and supporting me. My future plans are to attend college and start my own business. My name is Dimitri Weirda.
Let's hear it for number 23, Dimitri Weirda. All right, next senior we're honoring tonight, wears the number 33, Amar.
My name is Arika Martin. I've been a member of the South football program for a year. I play running back and outside linebacker. My favorite South football memory were two things specifically: the competition amongst us in the offseason, the morning workouts, and the circle. The other being the win against Amherst Central and the camaraderie amongst all of us when we went out to eat. My message such advice to the underclassmen is try everything and see what works for you. Do something for the experience and do it because you genuinely love doing it and being there. I also play basketball, track and field. I also participate in the Science Olympiad and chess. I would like to thank my mom, sister, and friends who all cheered me for doing football. My future plans are to pursue biomed and the medical field career at a top 20 college for academics.
Number 33, Arik Amar. Let's get it up. Our next year, we are honoring, where's the number 52, Ethan Pantera.
My name is Ethan Pantera. I have been a member of the South Football program for 4 years. I play offensive tackle and defensive end. My favorite South football memory would have to be a snow practice sophomore year, hit a snow world flag, made snow angels. And my advice to underclassmen would be to find one thing you're passionate about and become great at it over your 4 years at South. And I'm also active in clubs such as DECA and National Honor Society. I would like to thank my mom, dad, and sister, coaches, and teammates for supporting me throughout everything that's happened these past 4 years. And my future plans are to hopefully attend UV and major in my life.
Let's hear it for number 52, Ethan Pantera. Our next senior we are honoring, let's give it up for Miles Gray.
My name is Miles James. I've been a member of the South football program for 4 years. I play off tackle and defensive end. Favorite South football memory.
Coach this kid.
Being hammered for homecoming my junior year. Funny message to underclassmen. Never give up on the fight. Never give up in the classroom. Always do your aces and everyone's watching. And enjoy high school. That's what I like. I also play basketball and baseball. I would like to thank my coaches, mainly Coach Wesley, Coach Tamara, those guys. They believe in me when they don't think anybody else was. Shout out to them for sure. And my mom. My mom's also the best. And my future plans are to take college for sports marketing.
Let's give it up for number 55, Miles Gray. Our next senior, we are honoring on this Friday night. He wears the number 68, Lincoln Zachary.
My name is Lincoln Zachary. I've been a member of the South football program for 3 years. I played D-line. My favorite South football memory was watching my brother run over East Field my junior year. I also played basketball and track and field. I would like to thank my mother, father, and my brother for helping me become the man I am today. My message and advice to underclassmen: take advantage of the moments you have with your teammates, because time will fly faster than you see it. My future plans are to play college football and major in robotic engineering.
Let's give a round of applause for number 68, Lincoln Zachary. Last but certainly not least, let's honor our senior wearing number 73, Lewis Canada.
Hi guys, my name is Louis Canada. I've been a member of the Williamsville South football program for 3 years. I played O-line and D-line tackle. My all-time favorite South memory was our Hulk game in my junior season when we beat Hamburg in an unbelievable comeback. And another sport I played for South is baseball. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my brother, my family, my coaches, my teachers, and all my friends for helping me through all my toughest years here and some of my greatest years here at South. My plans for the future right now are to become a barber. I'd like to say that I'm gonna miss this whole sport so much, and I love right guys, and thanks for having me here for this season. Love you.
Let's hear it for 73, Lewis Canada. Hey, let's give one more round of applause for the graduating class on your Williamsville South Daily football team.
I'm sure he'll zoom in.
Thanks for joining us for halftime. We will be honoring the Williamsville South cheerleaders who are graduating this spring, as well as the seniors on Williamsville South dance line who are graduating in the spring.
Hey, Mario.
Kickoff is coming up in just under 9 minutes.
Is there an adjustment on the camera? Or is it because you're zoomed out so far? Look at like the sideline over there. All right. We are, but I'm gonna put the Whenever you're ready.
Go ahead. Live from Williamsville South High School, I'm Stu Boyer along with Jim Klink, sitting in for Paul Catrona tonight as the Billies take on the Vikings of Grand Island. And now a little bit about Jim. Tell us a little bit about yourself so that our viewers are a little more familiar with you.
Yes, coached 10 years in Southern Maryland SMAC Conference. A lot of good football down there, a lot of good football coaches down there. I learned a ton and moved home for family reasons, and looking forward to be back at the school we played at.
Well, you played quarterback at Williamsville North. Don't
Yes.
forget to throw that in.
Sure did. But backup role primarily, but just enjoyed my time with the football team, but unfortunately had an injury, could not continue. So.
Well, as we get set for the coin toss, you see Nolan Holtz, Calvin Overcamp, Daniel Peoples, and Miles Graves going out for the, I believe that's Miles. I have number 56 in the program, but I believe he's number 55. Graves will not play tonight, and the Billies will also be without Josh Neely. And we'll get the officials for you as soon as Franklin, the PA announcer here, makes the announcement. He has the list. So let's see. It's Grand Island in the all-white uniforms, white helmets, blue numbers, blue stripe down the helmet. Williamsville South in the black uniforms, blue numbers with the white trim and the blue helmets. Those numbers are not the easiest to see, and I asked Joe Licata about that before the game, and he said they're going to wear them again next year. So they're not the first school to draw my ire for numbers that are sometimes difficult to read.
Totally understand. Can see it. It's difficult just from here.
Thank you. That's good. And your eyes are way better than mine, even if you're wearing contact lenses.
No.
But an interesting matchup tonight. I don't think either team, they'll find out after this game if, like, say, Grand Island will get a Funky Bowl, named after the late, great Chuck Funky. And Williamsville South apparently will not be getting a Funky Bowl. There's the coin toss. Let's see. South will receive the football to start the game. So Joe Licata will put his offense on the field to start the game. The Billies win the coin toss, and a lot of teams nowadays defer, but Will South wants that football.
Yes, they do. A lot of advantages to that, but kind of want to put your best unit on the field first, and I think he feels confident that the offense can get it done on the first drive.
So is that the way you would have approached it too? If whatever your best unit was, you want them on the field?
Yep, traditionally it might change a game or two, but most of the time you want to put your best players on the field first if you have that choice.
Tim Gardner, our producer, Mario Hall on camera. I'm Stu Boyer along with Jim Klink. And we are missing our friend Paul Catrona, who is fine. He's just unable to get to the game tonight. So South will kick it off. Declan Coleman is the kicker.
Looks like we got no wind.
Yeah, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, a little bit right to left wind, so he'll be kicking with the wind. But doesn't seem to be a factor. Before the game, I thought it would be a factor, but looks like it calmed down a little bit.
So Peoples. And we are underway as Riley Masterman kicks it off, taken on the far side. Not a lot of running room there, and South will start deep in their own end of the field.
Yeah, that was a very high kick. Great coverage. They converged on the ball very well, but the kick allowed the coverage to get down there soon enough.
So 1st and 10 for the Billies. They are attacking the goal to our right. The direction of the school is at, and the scoreboard is to our left. So the Billies going right to left. It's on the 17-yard line where Williamsville South will have the football. Caden Overcamp at quarterback. His first pass to the near side is caught. And coming out to the 20 and out to the 25 and brought down at about the 27-yard line is Chris Pierce. Excuse me, that was Caden Overcamp. It was Chris Pierce. I had it backwards. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris. Jim.
Quick bubble screen. They like their numbers over there. It's probably a pre-snap read. Made some people miss and got a nice gain.
1st and 10 for the Billies. Ball on the 28-yard line. Caden Overcamp, a sophomore. He's had a really good year and has a very bright future. Trying to imagine what he'll be like in 2 years as a senior. Big brother Calvin Overcamp, a senior. Part of senior night here tonight at South. And he throws, it's caught and brought down at about the 43-yard line is Chris Pierce. It's another first down for South.
A nice quick throw there. Catch and throw, catch the ball, quick slant on the outside.
2 plays, 2 first downs for the Billies. Mitch Samplinski on the tackle for the Vikings. Overcamp awaits the shotgun snap. Looks to the bench, checks his wrist. And awaits that snap. He's got it. He throws to Jason Green. He's got a lot of room to run. He's all the way down inside Grand Island territory, all the way down to about the 24-yard line of the Vikings.
Great play there. It looks like they're analyzing the defense before they make the call, probably coming from upstairs. But they saw a one-on-one matchup to the outside on a little.
Well, that's 3 plays and 3 first downs for the Billies, and it's 1st and 10 at the Grand Island 24-yard line. Big gain there by Green. So far, the Billies making this look easy. And there's a handoff to Green. Not a lot of room to run. Maybe a yard gain right there.
Nice play on the end there. The right end for Grand Island defeated his block and made a great play.
So it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. First time that the Billies have kept the ball on the ground. Just underway, scoreless in the first quarter. This is the first possession of the game. South started way back at about their own 12-yard line. Overcamp to throw, going deep toward the end zone. Caught for the touchdown, Chris Pierce, and it's 6-0 Billies.
Oh, that was a great drive. I think they saw the safeties were screwed down pretty far and went over the top.
Well, great throw, and the Billies jump out to the early lead on the 24-yard touchdown pass from Overcamp to Pierce. And now they will try to add the extra point.
Yeah, speed kills, and they had that on the outside.
Now that's true in any sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can't teach it. Kick is up and good. And with 9:06 to play in the first quarter, it's Williamsville South 7, Grand Island nothing. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Back at Williamsville South, the Billies have jumped out to a 6-0 lead. Referees for tonight's game: Rick Shunk is the referee, the umpire Rudy Hober, William Simon the linesman, Ferris Marone the line judge, and the back judge is Eric Danheiser. As the kickoff is taken at about the 25-yard line and taken all the way out to about the 40-yard line, where the Vikings will have the ball for the first time this afternoon. Good return there. by Dylan Andrews for Grand Island.
Yeah, real assertive. Low kick. Came down about the 25-yard line, real assertive. Just grabbed it and got as many yards as he could.
So Peyton Abbott is the quarterback. Dean Santorio telling us he's the man driving the engine for this team at quarterback. Abbott, a junior quarterback, also plays defensive back. And the first play is a handoff, and that's a very short gain.
Just a lead play on the right-hand side. Looks like they're going to try to string out the edge and then attack that side.
Gavin Dombrowski on the carry for the Vikings. Coach Santorio talks to his QB Abbott, who comes back in with the play. 2nd down and 8, a 2-yard gain on the play for the Vikings.
Standard cover 3 from Williamsville South.
Looks like they might be coming. And, they might have gotten away with one there. There's a handoff, and Dombrowski powers forward.
Old school fullback belly right there.
Excuse me, that's number 28, Dominic Nucci.
Standard play in the eye. Quick hitter, especially if everybody's going to come flying upfield. They're going to run that fullback right by everyone.
Nucci is listed at 200 as a 9th grader as a 210-pound fullback and linebacker. 3rd and 2 now from the 48-yard line for the Vikings. Grand Island down 7-0 early. And there's the handoff, and Nucci looks like he's got the first down. So Grand Island, in contrast to South, keeping the ball on the ground, and it is a first down. South used its passing attack. They passed on all but one play, and Grand Island has yet to put the ball in the air.
Yep, same play, other side. Looks like they're trying to attack a certain weakness they think they see. Be interesting to see if they keep doing that.
1st and 10, Grand Island at the 49-yard line of Williamsville South. Abbott hands it to the second man through, and Dombrowski does not have a lot of room to run. Tackled there by Joe Lipsky of South, number 50. Go ahead.
Standard fullback lead. Will South had 0 safeties there, so let's see if Grand Island looks to exploit that.
2nd and 10 now for the Vikings. No gain on the play. Gorgeous night for football, a very nice Western New York night. See the flags, pretty good breeze. Flags are blowing off to our right. And there's a play action. Abbott to throw, throws to the far side, incomplete. Intended for Jacob Joseph. Ball was high over his head. He jumped and tried to get it, but he was unable to jump that high, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I think they saw it on the last play that there were no safety, so they called the play action pass. And Will South came out on that last one, had deep cover 3, but it looked like the play was there.
But not the execution.
Definitely.
Throw was a little high, and now it's 3rd and 10 for the Vikings on the Billies 49. Peyton Abbott goes under center. He's back to pass. Instead, he'll hand it off, and a good defensive play by South to stop the run there.
Yeah,
Dombrowski.
Strong 8-man box. It seems like not a lot of room in there, but they're trying to plug it up through.
A 1-yard gain will bring up 4th and 9, and we're seeing a lot more schools not punting anymore. We'll see if they punt here. It looks like they're going to line up and go for it unless they do one of those little pooch punts. But 4th and 9, and they look like they're going to go for it here from the 48, and they're going for it. Abbott back to pass. He throws deep downfield. Caught. Are they going to call him inbounds? Yes, they will. Riley Masterman hauled out at about the 31-yard line. Here's the replay right here. Abbott has some time, tosses it up there. Nice catch, and I think that might have got both feet in there. Nicely done.
Nice little play action flood. Overloaded one side of the field against their zone. The quarterback just had to make the right read, and he nailed it.
So now it's 1st and 10 from the Billies' 30-yard line. Abbott goes under center. Hands it off to the first man through there is Nucci. Did the ball come out? South, well, looks like South says they have it, but I don't see any officials saying that they do just yet. Let's see, the officials are talking. Yeah, South says it's their ball. Waiting for one of the officials to say which way. South ball! The Billies recover the fumble. And South takes over, 1st and 10.
Tried the fullback belly again. Seems to be working. Got decent yardage out of it, but couldn't hang on to the ball.
I couldn't tell who reached in there and knocked it away or who recovered it, but either way, it's South football. The officials huddled together and made that decision.
Yeah. And that's such a quick handoff. It's a snap, get the snap, turn, handoff quick. It's sometimes there's errors within just the exchange, so I'm not sure if that's what happened.
1st and 10 for the Billies at their own 30-yard line. First drive, they move smartly downfield. Here's Overcamp, takes the shotgun snap. He passes on the far side. Oh, almost intercepted. It was high off the hands of Peoples and incomplete.
Yeah, gave a nice run fake and then quick turn. Looked like a longer slant, but ball was high.
Got a couple of hands on it. Couldn't haul it in, though. Be 2nd and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think they're reading Grand Island defense, making the call after they see what the defense is doing. I don't know if Grand Island has any kind of disguise packages in, but if that's going to continue, they're going to be able to just have their way. But safeties are down extremely far.
It's a direct snap. No, nice move there. And that's Green, and he's got some room to run, and he pulled a Josh Allen, tried to hurdle a guy, and he's out close to the 45-yard line. By Jason Green. Watch it again. Look at this. He makes a couple of guys miss, comes to the near side, and well, he's not as impressive. Not bad.
No, he's getting there. That was a nice play, nice moves in the backfield. Designed run, made some people miss, and that's what football's all about. You got to make people miss to make things work.
So 1st and 10 Billies at their own 44-yard line after the 14-yard gain by Green. Green, the senior, has played a huge role on this South team.
Yeah, Grand Island does not want no safeties back at all.
Here's Overcamp, back to pass. He's going to throw it down the far sideline, and it's caught at the Grand Island 41-yard line. Oh, are they going to say it's incomplete for Peoples?
Holding.
Holding penalty, huh? It was caught by Peoples. That was a very nice catch. Unfortunately for South, it's coming back.
Yeah, South attacking where Grand Island isn't, which is
smart.
Yeah. Two safeties back, or no safeties back, and they went after it.
I did not see the hold. It should still be 1st down. We'll see where they spot the football. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That'll take it all the way back to the 29-yard line. First down for the Billies. Still 1st down.
Yeah, Grand Island doesn't want to show their safeties. It looks like they're bailing it near snap. So there are safeties back there. They're just bailing a little bit.
And there's a handoff to Peoples trying to turn the corner. Nice tackle there. If he breaks that tackle, he's got some room to run. Hunter Hall on that tackle for Grand Island, and if he doesn't get him, he's got a lot more real estate to chew up.
Absolutely. That was tremendous pursuit and tackle. It's one thing to run and get to the ball. It's another thing to make the tackle by yourself. Great play.
2nd down and 18 now for the Billies. At their own 36-yard line. South with the early lead here as we get late in the first quarter, 7-0. They scored on their first possession. Green in the backfield with Overcamp. Overcamp takes the snap, hands it off to Green, and there's really no room to run that time as Grand Island sniffs that one out and shoves him back for a loss.
Great play on the D-line there. It looks like just defeating your block. D linemen sitting there, look to sit in their gap, and then if they see the ball, defeat the block and go make the tackle.
Aiden Angiano on the tackle there for Grand Island. And now it's 3rd down and a really long way to go. 3rd and 20 for the Billies. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Now we're under 2. Overcamp will hand it off. Green is trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and Grand Island got him again.
Yep.
They sniffed that one out and wouldn't let him go anywhere.
Yeah, they sent 2 linebackers straight through the gaps, and he had nowhere to go.
Cody Oakleberry on that tackle. Got some help from Fortune Macri. And now it's 4th down and 24 for the Billies. Mitch Samplinski back deep.
That's a great hold by Grand Island, especially after what happened last drive.
Along with Landon Guandano. Samplinski closest to us. Ring number 1, we get a whistle. What's the whistle? And was that a flag on the field? Sure looked like it. Yep. That's an odd. Well, let's see. What are they calling? He picked up the flag.
Picked up the flag, yeah. No flag, misfire.
Okay. So 4th and 24 for the Billies. Most likely they will snap it and punt it, but you do never know. It's a long way to go. And Green will punt it. And he got it away, and it's dropped and picked up, and down he goes. Looked like Gavin Dombrowski picked it up, dropped it, and it will be Grand Island ball at their own 29-yard line. So Grand Island will start in pretty deep in their own end of the field.
Yeah,
we'll see how
a knuckling punt, and he had some trouble with it. Luckily, he recovered it. But you're living dangerously when you try to catch those that are kind of awkward, flying through the air.
Well, you got to catch him before you can run with him, right?
Yeah, amen. Grand Island staying in the I formation.
1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 32-yard line. Abbott at quarterback. And he will hand it off, and a short gain there for Dombrowski.
Yep.
Bring up 2nd down.
Double Mike blitz there. I think the strong side, or the run side blitzing linebacker is the one who made that play.
So see if Grand Island gets a playoff here as the final seconds of the quarter tick away. They got 2 on 1st down. I don't think they're going to get the snap away here. And that should do it for the first quarter. So after 1 quarter, it's Williamsville South 7, Grand Island nothing. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Second quarter about to get underway. Grand Island has the ball, 2nd down and 8 at their own 34-yard line. Williamsville South scored on their first possession. This is just Grand Island's second possession. The Vikings have turned it over once. South failed to capitalize on that turnover. Abbott, play action pass, rolls to the far side, puts it up, throws, and it's caught inside South territory. Nice throw and catch, and it's caught by Dylan Andrews, and that's a first down for Grand Island. Well, Jim, he kind of rolled to the far side and threw kind of back against the grain. That's a tough throw.
Yeah, great fake. I think the fake setup gave him a little bit more time, not that he had tons of time, but again, just another flood in the cover 3 zone. 3 for their 2 over there, and he made the right read.
So it's 1st and 10 now, Grand Island at the South 43-yard line. Vikings trying to tie this one up early in the second quarter. And there's a handoff, and Dombrowski gets across the 40-yard line before he's shoved back. The whistle blows, he hits the deck, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice little bit of scissors there, we call that. Fake to the fullback and then give to the other back.
2nd down. Gain of 4, so it's 2nd down and 6. Here comes Peyton Abbott back into the huddle with the play from Coach Dean Santorio.
Yeah, he carries out a lot of fakes. Excellent. 10 out of 10.
2nd down and 6 from they're calling it the 39, it is the 39-yard line. And there's the handoff to Dombrowski, barrels up there. About 3 or 4 yards there for Gavin.
He's got those backers cheating. They're about 2 yards away from the line of scrimmage on the snap of the ball. So if they can catch a seam, they're in for a long run.
Well, so far South has defended that pretty well.
Yes.
3rd down, 3rd and 3 from the 36-yard line for Grand Island. And considering what they did on their first drive, they will be going for it on 4th down if they don't get it. Abbott rolls to the near side. He's going to keep it himself, and he's not going to gain much, maybe a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, designed run there. Backers still chomping at the bit. They got maybe 8 players within 2 yards of the ball, so it's going to be tough sledding down there.
Nowhere for Abbott to go. 4th and 2 from the 35-yard line for the Vikings. You will not find a much better night for high school football than tonight, in contrast to what it was like earlier this week with the wind and the rain and the cold.
We all lucked that up.
Probably would have been better to play football in those conditions than what some of the soccer players and field hockey players endured. Pass on the far side, caught. It's a flea flicker, throwing deep downfield. He's wide open, and he dropped the ball. Mitch Samplinski dropped the ball. He can't believe it. It's incomplete. It's 4th down.
That was there. Double pass, threw it lateral back, and then I think he was getting pressured, so I don't think he could get everything on that. And then the wind might have played with it a little bit on the pass.
Well, there's a flag on the play, and let's see which way this one goes. Abbott, I believe that was Dylan Andrews who threw that. Roughing the passer against the Billies, a personal foul. That'll be a 1st down, and the Vikings will move forward.
Wow. Well, the play worked.
It did. Samplinski, no doubt, is in shock that he didn't catch it. Probably couldn't believe he was that wide open.
Yeah.
Those are probably some of the hardest catches to make when you see how wide open you are.
Yeah, really. The play worked really, really well.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line for the Vikings. Big break there for Grand Island. And now Abbott goes back to pass. He throws incomplete.
Another play action pass, great fake. Turned around, had the right read. Just couldn't execute. I couldn't tell if looks like the receiver was complaining about a little bit of gamesmanship. out in the secondary.
Dylan Andrews was the intended target. Ball didn't quite reach him. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Grand Island's really executing. It's I formation is pretty basic, but if you execute it, you can move the ball, and they're doing that.
And Abbott is going to keep it himself. He's got some room to run. Abbott down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. Good run there. Looked like he was stopped, but he kept those legs moving and got all the way inside the 5 where it'll be 1st and goal.
That was outstanding. It was a belly option, fake to the fullback, and then spin to the outside. The read was not to pitch it, was to take it upfield, and he did that. An outstanding play. It was the first time they showed option today, and it worked like a charm.
1st and goal from Grand Island. The ball spotted on the 3-yard line. Nucci and Dombrowski, the young men behind Abbott, the quarterback. And he will hand it off to Nucci, who's into the end zone for the touchdown, and it's a 7-6 game. Very simple play there, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, I think the whole stadium knew what was coming that well. That's a good fullback, catches the ball, fires out of his stance, comes downhill very fast, very tough to tackle. So outstanding drive by Grand Island.
So it's 7-6, and now Grand Island will try to tie it up. Luke Hutton comes on to try the extra point. The snap is botched, but they pick it up. They throw it toward the end zone. Incomplete. It's 7-6. The snap was low. Dylan Andrews picked it up, threw it to a man in the end zone. It was a little short, and unfortunately for the Vikings, it's 7-6. 7:48 to play here in the second quarter. South leads 7-6. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. So Grand Island set to kick off. Oh, there's a booming kickoff. It'll be caught at about the 5-yard line, coming to the near side, trying to get around to the corner, and still going, still on his feet, and finally blasted out of bounds. Great return there. Watch the replay of this.
Yeah, outstanding. Beat the outside contain, and that's what you tell your receivers or your returners to do. Is if that outside contain, there's green grass.
Andre Acker, number 20, on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Billies at their own 43-yard line. When he first hit that kick, I thought I was going out of the end zone, and maybe the wind dragged it down a bit, but he got a lot into that one.
Yeah, same thing. I thought that was gone. But wind is right to left, and it was right into the wind.
And a really nice return by Acker.
Yeah, outstanding.
I believe that was number 20.
Yeah, big chunk of yardage.
So 1st and 10 for the Billies. Here's a pitch to the near side to Green, and he's smothered. Good gang tackling there by Grand Island. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that right end blew it up. Same thing. He made a play on the previous drive also. He's playing well, number 19.
And that would be Hunter Hall for Grand Island.
Great play. He's defeating his block and getting off his block and getting his arms free so he can make the tackle.
Now it's 2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss. Well, Grand Island, whenever Green has had the ball, he had one really big run earlier in the game, but since then they've really done a nice job containing him. 2nd and 12 for the Billies. Overcamp throws it to Green, catches it at the 45, the 50, the 45. That's a nice move. Still on his feet at the 30, at the 10, and it's a touchdown. Jason Green hauls it in and goes all the way for the 59-yard touchdown, and South increases its lead to 13-6. Watch it again. Nice move right there. Another good move, and he's gone. They're just not going to catch him.
Yeah, it looked like their area was about 10 yards off and dropping. Inside just had the short routes. The outside was wide open. Flats was wide open.
South had the extra point is blocked, so back-to-back extra points by each team. Looked like Elijah Linenfelser blocked that one, and it's 13-6 Billies with 6:35 to play here in the second quarter. Well, so far it looks like South has a pretty quick strike capability. We haven't necessarily seen that from Grand Island just yet.
Yep, the 2 times they ran that play where they get a wheel route out of the backfield, it's worked really well for them, so I could see him staying with that.
So now the Billies will kick off, leading 13-6. You see that's Kevin Lester Jr. instructing the kickoff team as they head out onto the field. Son of longtime Will South Athletic Director Kevin Lester. Kevin Jr. played here at South and has been a coach here for a while. As the Billies get set to kick it off, Declan Coleman taking over for the injured Josh Neely. That might be Noah Red, number 40, excuse me. That is Noah Red, set to kick off. And Nolan Holtz, number 2, now coming back to be on the outside on the near side. Yeah, you know, Joe Licata's had some onside kicks here. Let's see what they do. No, they'll bounce it, make it tough to handle. Takes a high hop. Picked up by Dylan Andrews. Andrews got some running room, still on his feet and out close to midfield. A great return by Dylan Andrews. He'll be 1st and 10 Grand Island.
Great return. The coaching, biggest coaching point of kick-off return is get yards. Get upfield as fast as you can, and he did that.
Great field position for the Vikings. And now the officials are having a conversation with Gavin Mong of South. I didn't see any flags.
Nope.
So I don't know what that might or might not be about. And now referee Rick Shunk goes over and talks to the Grand Island huddle, has a brief word for them. And we'll see what the Vikings do here, trailing 13-6 with 6.5 to play, 6:26 to play here in the first half. It's a play action pass. Abbott throws far side, caught, and still in bounds and still on his feet before getting knocked out of bounds is Riley Masterman. And that should be enough, more than enough, for a first down as the chains will move. Another first down for Grand Island.
Yeah, 2-man route on that. Outside went go route. Inside ran a 10-yard out chair pattern. Executed really well. He had max protect in front of him.
So now it's 1st and 10 Grand Island from the Billies' 38-yard line. Nucci and Dombrowski in the backfield with Abbott. And it's a play action pass. Abbott gets rid of it. It's caught by number 24, Jacob Joseph. Abbott made a nice play there. He was really under pressure and was still able to get the ball away and complete the pass.
Yeah, definitive courage. He made the fake, knew he was going to take a lick, but got the ball off. Well done.
Second down and 7 from the Williamsville South 34-yard line. Abbott will be back for his senior season next year. Lines up under center. Takes the snap and hands it off to the first man through, and that's Nucci, and he's thrown back. Probably give him forward progress, and it'll probably be 3rd and 6 instead of 2nd and 6. Or maybe they'll give him a yard, or he lost a yard.
Yeah, second level got to him pretty quick. Another fullback belly. Looks like middle linebackers are looking for that now.
3rd and 7 from the 34-yard line for the Vikings. .423 and counting to play here in the first half. 13-6 South over Grand Island. Ooh, somebody moves somewhere. They're going to call a flag on that one. Let's see which way this one goes. It's going to be a false start against Grand Island. South did a nice job of drawing that penalty there.
Yeah, backer was baiting up a little bit. Looks like it triggered the fullback.
So it'll be 3rd down.
Let's do it again. It's 3rd down.
3rd and 10 now from the 38-yard line. I imagine those kind of penalties are the most frustrating to a coach.
Yep, and player too, he knew it. put his hands on his heads, he knew it. And he's gonna get a chance to make up for it.
So 3rd and 10 here for the Vikings. Abbott back to pass. He's got time. He throws. Wow. Oh, what almost a great catch there. But Andrews couldn't quite haul it in. Got an arm or a hand on it, but the pass goes incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. It'll be 4th and 10 for the Vikings.
Yeah, another max protect, 2-man route on the outside. One high, one low.
4th down for the Vikings. And the Vikings come out of the huddle here. 4th and 10 at the South 38-yard line. Grand Island has converted at least one 4th down so far in the game.
Showing their first spread look.
Oh, the ball goes through Abbott's hands all the way back into the Grand Island end, and he will just fall on it all the way back at the Grand Island 41-yard line where the Billies will have it. 1st and 10. A high snap, and unfortunately Abbott couldn't bring it down, went off his hands, and South gets a huge break, and the Billies get great field position starting their drive at the Grand Island 41-yard line.
And that's the tough thing about switching the quarterback's point of reception of the ball. If he's under center, he gets used to that, and then he goes back in shotgun, and the center and the quarterback sometimes are not on the same page, but it happens from time to time. You just hope it goes well.
So Overcamp and Green in the backfield having a little conversation. See if they try that same play in the pass to Green one more time. They've had good success on it both times they've run it. Overcamp. He'll hand it to Green, and he will hand it off, and it's back with Overcamp, who throws. He's wide open, and that's a touchdown. Nolan Holtz. What a play. What a great fake. Fooled me. Overcamp got the ball back and fired a 41-yard touchdown pass to Nolan Holtz.
He got tackled by backside contain, but quarterback still had it and had somebody wide open along the sideline.
Andrews desperately trying to catch him. Do it. And South goes up 19-6. What a great play.
Yeah, and what a change of events. It looked like Grand Island was driving again, and then 2 plays later, it's in the end zone.
So South will try to add the extra point. The kick is up and good, and Williamsville South takes a 20-6 lead with 3:11 to play here in the second quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Will South getting set to kick off after an electrifying 41-yard touchdown pass from Caden Overcamp to Nolan Holtz. Little trickery there and worked beautifully. And it's a touchdown for South. They increased their lead to 14 with just 3:11 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Grand Island rebounds, see if they try to stay with the I formation and put together a lengthy drive, or if they try the spread formation again.
So South set to kick off. End over end kick taken by Dombrowski at about the 8-yard line, goes to the far sideline. Nice tackle there just before the 30-yard line. So a good return and a good special teams tackle there for the Billies, where it'll be 1st and 10 Grand Island.
Great coverage. The Gunners were definitely gunning for the ball, forced them up the sideline, made a tackle.
Dombrowski hauled down at the 30-yard line. So the Vikings will take over
1st and 10 Grand Island at their own 30-yard line.
Spread formation with the H-back.
And now Abbott out of the shotgun. And he will keep it himself, and he'll gain maybe 3 yards, where it'll be 2nd down.
Design run following the H-back. H-back came across the formation, and quarterback followed him through the hole.
The Billies will take a timeout, and so will we. 20-6, Williamsville South with 2:51 to play in the second quarter. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. So here comes Grand Island, 2nd and 7 after the Billies used the timeout.
Back to the spread formation.
Abbott, play action pass, he'll throw. It's caught for a 1st down and tackled immediately after making the catch is Mitch Samplinski.
Deep comebacks, three-man route. Everybody ran the same route. You just got to pick.
So it'll be another 1st down for the Vikings at the Billies' 42-yard line. Both teams have had success moving the ball, and that last touchdown electrifying by South. And Jason Green has brought the South crowd onto their feet at least once so far tonight too, with his long touchdown catch and run. 1st and 10. Here's Peyton Abbott taking the snap. He's got some time. Rolls, throws, tipped up in the air and almost intercepted. But the Billies couldn't quite get a hand on it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of poise back there. He just stepped up, picked out his receiver, let it fly. It just didn't happen for him. But he runs the offense well and is real poised back there.
Pass intended for Samplinski. And now it's 2nd down and 10 from their own 42-yard line for the Vikings. Grand Island with a 2-5-0 record, 2-3 in league play. Here's Abbott back to pass. He put it under his arm and is going to run with it. He's out to midfield. The ball comes out and it's recovered by South. Well, he kind of put his shoulder down to deliver a blow, and I think that's what cost him. The ball came out and went right to the South player who recovered the fumble.
A great play. He had trips to the right, lined up really wide, design run. He initiated the contact, and the ball probably just hit the wrong place and came out. He tried to dive for it as it was coming out, couldn't secure it.
I believe that was Noah Red on the fumble recovery. The roster I have says Nico Majaris, but I don't think he's available tonight or necessarily even with the team. However, no matter what, it's 1st and 10 South at their own 45-yard line with 1:57 to play here in the first half. And South leading this one 20-6. And is there a player down on the far side? Looks like there's a Grand Island player.
Yeah, I think it's Abbott.
Well, obviously, we always hope he's okay.
Yep.
But it did, he was trying to get that extra yard, and it looked like he put the shoulder forward, and that's when he got popped, and the ball came out.
Yep, and I think the injury might have happened on him trying to secure the ball as it was coming out.
Oh, is that okay?
Put himself in kind of a vulnerable situation.
Well,
he's sitting up.
He reached out to grab the ball, and that's when you think it happened?
Yep.
Because I saw him, he tried to deliver a blow. He was trying to get those extra yards for the first down, and I did not see who hit him, but I did see the ball come out, and it went right to the South player. So a big break for South as Abbott walks off the field. Hopefully he'll be back and okay. And now it'll be 1st and 10 for the Billies.
Yeah, Grand Island just suffered a bunch of near misses. I mean, whereas Will South is capitalizing on just about every play.
And we'll see what they do here. Overcamp and Green in the backfield. As you see Overcamp rubbing his hands together, awaiting that shotgun snap. Back to pass, Overcamp. He throws, almost intercepted. Almost. Nucci almost picked that one off, but instead it's incomplete, and it's 2nd down.
Yep, just like I said, right on cue, just near misses. Looks like Grand Island is trying to disguise a little bit. They're pushing everybody up and then bailing last second.
So we'll see now, 2nd and 10. Isaiah Duncan on the near side, split wide. He's at the bottom of your screen. And Overcamp throws. That one's caught. And making a nice move. And going forward down inside the 35-yard line. Chris Pierce on the catch and run. And it's a 1st down for South.
Yep, 7-yard hitches. Everybody ran the same route, and quarterback looked like he predetermined where he was going with that ball and made the right decision.
So now it's 1st and 10 for the Billies. Overcamp throws it to Green. Nice catch by Green, who's out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Green made a nice catch there. The ball thrown up a little high. He reached out and pulled that one in, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a halfback wheel again. They're getting man-to-man looks, so they're running the halfback wheel out of the backfield, and they're 4 for 4 on that play, I think.
2nd down and 2 from the 25-yard line for the Billies. Overcamp throws, caught, touchdown South. And just like that, the Billies take advantage of the turnover. And it's a 26-6.
Yeah, that was chair pit about the exact same play. Grand Island ran 2-man route, play action in the backfield. Throw was right on the money, great catch, quick move, and then into the end zone.
Jordan Farrell on the reception, and South will try to make it 27-6 with the extra point here. And the kick is up and good. And with 1:14 to play in the half, it's Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 6. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. So Declan Coleman set to kick off for South, and it'll bounce. And Grand Island gets a hand on it. Dombrowski fumbled it. Well, he muffed it, and now he's got it. Comes to the near side and oh, that could be a late hit right there.
Yep.
And I think they're going to throw the flag for that one. Dombrowski was hit by Kelvin Overcamp, and I think he might have been out of bounds already.
Yeah, just barely.
And the flag flew.
It's hard to call the dogs off when he just makes that tiny little step out of bounds. But sure, he kind of left himself in a defenseless spot.
Well, that's a good call. He was out of bounds. Yeah. So the flag will fly. The fans don't like it, as you can hear, but you know, there's a reason they're in the stands.
Yep. Yeah, that was the right call for sure.
I don't think Kevin Lester Jr. appreciated that call either, looking at his body language.
Yep.
But I thought it was a good call. I was not surprised that it came out, and neither were you.
Nope.
They'll take it all the way out to the Grand Island 45-yard line. And Grand Island would like nothing better than to put some more points here on the board late in the first half, down 21. And we have a quarterback change. There's a handoff, and that's Dombrowski across the midfield stripe as a Grand Island player comes in late and pushes him forward. Landon Guandano is at quarterback as Peyton Abbott has not come back into the game. We're under a minute to play here in the second quarter. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Back at Williamsville South, it's 2nd down and 4 from the Billies 49 for the Grand Island Vikings, trailing 27-6. Guandano back to pass. He throws far side, incomplete, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Couldn't really tell the routes on that one. Looked like there was a flood. There was 3 receivers en route. 1 receiver was in the middle of the field, 2 along the sideline. So.
Guandano into the game, replacing Peyton Abbott, who was apparently injured on the previous series. And hopefully Abbott is okay and able to return to the game. There's someone throwing on the far sideline, but we can't see. They're actually behind the players on the bench, so we can't see it. And now
Yeah, it looks like Abbott over there.
Okay, well, hopefully he's all right. There's a handoff to Dombrowski, and he gets to about the 48, 47, all the way down to the 46. And I think he's just short of the first down. And Williamsville South will take a timeout. And so will we. 27-6, Will South leading Grand Island with 43 seconds to play in the half. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Well, good news is that Peyton Abbott is back into the game for Grand Island, as it's a 4th down for the Vikings. And Abbott will take the shotgun snap and will look to throw it. He throws downfield, caught for a first down. Nice move there, and finally brought down at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he looks perfectly fine. That was a great throw.
Mitch Samplinski on the catch and run. And it's a first down for the Vikings.
Yeah.
And now Grand Island will take a timeout. Go ahead.
Just a quick drop. It looked like they had 2 deep routes and 1 intermediate route. I'm not sure if it was an option route, but he sat down in the zone, and Abbott delivered a strike.
So Abbott looks like he's fine after taking a couple of plays off.
Yeah, he's a good field general out there. He knows he's got a good handle on the offense. He's got great poise. Just some unfortunate bounces tonight, unfortunately.
Now there was a high snap that went off his hands. That was the worst break, and South capitalized on that one.
Yep. But you know, there can be the tale of 2 halves. Whatever went wrong in the first half can reverse itself in the second half.
Well, that's very true. Grand Island would really like to see that. Down 27-6 here in the first half to the Billies of Williamsville South. So now it's a first down at the 34 for the Vikings. Abbott back to pass. He's got some time. He throws deep downfield, almost intercepted, incomplete, intended for Dombrowski. And there was a player a little bit there before that who I can't see who it was, but no flags on that play. Will bring up a second down.
Yeah, it looked like all verticals. Couldn't tell for sure, but definitely we're attacking the deep part of the field.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 with just 24 seconds left to play in the half. Vikings doing what I always want to see teams do. At some point, you have to take a crack at the end zone.
Agree. They got 24 seconds, 2 timeouts. See what they come up with here.
And they are down 21. So a touchdown here could give Grand Island a big lift. Abbott back to pass once again. Here comes the rush. He rolls to the far side. He's going to run now, and he's smacked at about that 29-yard line. Boy, he took a huge hit, but he bounced right up. And that's another timeout for Grand Island. Wow, that was a big hit.
He is fearless. I expected him to kind of take a V-line for the sideline, but he did not. He said, I'm staying in bounds. I think he knew he had timeouts, so probably between 2 or 3 plays left here. See what they do.
Well, it's 3rd down, and that was a huge hit.
Yes, it was.
Grand Island takes another timeout. Joe Licata standing there on the 30-yard marker on the field, has a word for one of the officials, a kind word, no doubt, and has a chat with Kevin Lester Jr. and walks toward the huddle of his defense. And now Joe heads back over to the sidelines. 3rd and 4 from the 29-yard line for the Vikings They do have those two. They actually have one timeout left.
Yep,
so maybe 2 plays.
Yeah, middle of the field's open for them, and see what happens if they have to use that timeout.
Abbott takes the shotgun snap, back to pass, and he's under pressure. He gets the ball away, incomplete. He might have been hit as he threw that ball for Samplinsky. Dombrowski in the area too. The pass is incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th and 4 from the 29-yard line.
Yeah, that one took a lot of time off the clock, but he let it develop and had somebody open, just didn't happen.
So 4th and 5 from the 29 with 6 seconds to play. This will most likely be the last play of the half. And I can't imagine Grand Island doing anything but taking a crack at the end zone here.
Yep.
And Abbott made a nice play there. He was under pressure, and I think he got hit as he threw that. So it was incomplete.
Yep, 3 to the near side. Looks like Will South is good 10 to 15 yards off the ball in secondary.
Going to drop everybody back and knock down the Hail Mary. There's the
Going
pass
for it.
toward the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off by the Billies, and going down the near sideline is Peoples, and he's out to the 40-yard line, still on his feet, and finally brought down by who else but Peyton Abbott. And that will bring the half to a close. At halftime, it's Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 6. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Stu Boyer and Jim Klink back here at Williamsville South as we take a look at the halftime stats. Obviously, South winning 27-6. Time of possession favors Grand Island. And the turnovers, oh, that's bad. 3 turnovers to none for South. You're not going to win a lot of football games doing that. And South with a huge edge in passing yards, completion percentage. Only 6 yards on the ground for South. Wow. And in total yards, once again, it's South. So the statistics kind of telling the story.
Yep. And I think they had 150 yards on the halfback wheel route. So interesting to see how Grand Island answers from a defensive standpoint. Because if they keep going man-to-man, they're going to keep throwing that wheel route. So it's really tough to defend. You're asking a linebacker to defend a halfback out of the backfield. So we'll see what happens.
So South started the game by receiving the opening kickoff. So Grand Island should get the ball to start the second half. As we take a look at the South dance team, it was senior night for the cheerleaders. And so the South with a big advantage in just about everything on the scoreboard, statistically. And we're going to take another quick break as we get set to start the second half. 27-6 South. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. As we get set to start the second half here at Williamsville South, the Billies leading Grand Island 27-6 in this one. Stu Boyer and Jim Klink bringing you the action. Tim Gardner, our producer, Mario Hall on camera.
Well, everything went right for Williamsville South in the first half, and everything went wrong for Grand Island in the first half. So let's see what this half holds.
As now you can tell the wind is all of a sudden really kicked up as the Billies get set to kick off. Declan Coleman puts his foot into it. The wind holds it up, taken on the far side. by Simplinski, and he's out close to the 30-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10, Grand Island. Now, that was a seemingly an odd gust of wind that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really did.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Grand Island. We'll see. Go ahead.
Those flags are going a lot more than they were in the first half, so could be a lot different from a throwing perspective.
Well, and look at the goalposts and the little, I don't know what you'd call them, flags like you use for flag football on the top of the goalpost. 1st and 10, Grand Island, Peyton Abbott back in at quarterback. And he will hand it off, and Dombrowski bursts through there. He's got some running room. He's tripped up. Chris Farrell got him after about a 15-yard gain, and if Farrell doesn't get him with anybody else, there's the tackle right there. Front of him too. So
yeah, with those backers aggressive like that, if they catch a seam like that, there's nobody home.
So it's 1st and 10 from the Vikings 45-yard line after a good run on 1st down. See what the Vikings can come up with here. And Abbott will keep it himself and get maybe 2 yards at the most.
Great play by the D lineman, got penetration and then made the tackle on his own.
Max Weinrieb, number 74 on the tackle there.
74, Max Weinrieb.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 7. They gave him 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7. A little bit of surprising news out of college football. Nick Saban, the head coach at Alabama, has told his team this will be his last year as the head coach of the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And there's the handoff to the second man through there. It's Dombrowski, and he's got the 1st down to about the south 42 or 43-yard line. Nick Saban has 7 national championships to his credit.
Yeah, that's shocking news. Grand Island looks like they're changing their scheme up a little bit. They're going to look to misdirection. Got somebody going one way, and then the ball's going to be going the other way, so we'll see how South adjusts to that.
1st and 10 at the south 43-yard line for the Vikings. Abbott, play action pass. He throws deep downfield, almost intercepted and almost caught.
Wow.
Nolan Holtz almost intercepted it. Mitch Simplinski almost caught it, and it's simply an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, some more run action, and then trying to work the deep third on the right-hand side. Just narrow miss.
That was a good play fake there because Mario Hall, our cameraman, is usually spot on. And like me in the first half on that South touchdown play, got a little bit taken in that time by the fake. Shouldn't pick on Mario like that. He does a great job.
Oh, he's doing a great job.
And here's Abbott, back to pass one more time. Instead, he's going to run with it. He's at the 40, at the 35, at the 30, still on his feet, and finally brought down inside the 25-yard line. Good run, Abbott. And it's a 1st down for Grand Island. Take another look at it right here.
Yeah, that was a great play. On the outside, he ran, took a step back, and then right up the gut. Quarterback draw.
Calvin Overcamp on the tackle there. 1st and 10 at the south 25-yard line for the Vikings. Abbott hands it off to Dombrowski. He's met almost immediately. No gain on that play.
Yep, more misdirection. Linebacker made a nice play.
Jacob King on the tackle. Good play there by King. It's 2nd and 9. They'll give him a yard. 2nd and 9 from the 24 for the Vikings. As you saw by the halftime stats, and you can tell by the scoreboard, this one's been pretty much all South. And Grand Island doing what they can to try and change that. 2nd and 9 from the 24 for Peyton Abbott and company. Nucci in the backfield with Abbott. Oh, I think the Billies jumped offside.
Got him on the hard count.
Offside Williamsville South, and instead of 2nd and 9, it'll be 2nd down and 4 from the 19-yard line. So Will South jumps off sides.
Let's see what happens here with Grand Island. It seems like every time they get in this general area, things don't go well. So let's see if their luck changes.
Hardest place to execute must be that red zone,
Yep.
because the defense is generally more packed in, among other reasons. Abbott makes a nice play on the high snap, gets away from one man, but not the second wave. Weinrib almost had him, reached back to try to get him, but he couldn't. And then 2 or 3 of his teammates, and look at Weinrib, he's shaking his head, put both hands on his helmet. It's like, how did I miss that guy?
Yeah, and right on cue, just snap was a little too hot to handle also, and not much he could do. Got back to the line of scrimmage.
Abbott actually made a really nice play to grab that snap. So now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 4 from the 19. So you're right, he got back to the line of scrimmage. And Abbott will keep it himself. He's got the first down and then some, still on his feet. He's inside the 10, almost all the way down to the 5-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal for Grand Island.
That's another great play. Showed run right, quarterback kept it, ran left. A little bit of an over pursuit, and got a 1st and 5.
1st and goal for Grand Island. As you see Dean Santorio talking to Peyton Abbott, his quarterback. He sends him back out there. Time ticking away in the 3rd quarter. The clock becoming a friend of South and an enemy of Grand Island, but if the Vikings can get into the end zone here, and Abbott wants to keep it himself, and he's not going to get very far that time. Weinrib among those in there, wreaking havoc on that play. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Vikings.
I think there was a premature, snapped it a little too early, and then ran into his motion man.
2nd and goal from the 5. They're going to call it the 4 now. At least Franklin, the PA announcer, said 4. And he's right. It's the 4-yard line. Scoreboard said 5. The nose of the football's on the 4.
Stu, I'm going to bet fullback here.
Okay. Let's see how good you are, Coach, at calling plays. And there it is. And there's Dombrowski into the end zone for the touchdown. Grand Island, good call on the scoreboard, making it 27-12.
Great drive by Grand Island. Real patient drive. Great to have Abbott back there running the show, and they finally got a conversion after a couple drives that didn't go so well.
So Grand Island will try to add the extra point here. They were unable to do so after their first touchdown. Luke Hutton will put his foot into the ball. The kick is up and good. And with 5:45 to play here in the 3rd quarter, it's Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 13. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. So Grand Island gets on the scoreboard here in the 3rd quarter. Number 7, Riley Masterman, set to kick off for the Vikings.
be interesting to see how Grand Island adjusts the defense, see if they go to a more zone look, or if they continue with man-to-man.
See what they do on the kickoff here. We've seen a lot of surprising things on kickoffs, and they will kick it deep, a high end-over-end kick. It'll bounce at about the 20. Peoples picks it up and is spun down and tackled immediately, and he had no choice but to reach for that ball.
A little pooch kick, and it looked like the wind playing a little bit of games with it. It hit the ground and surprisingly took a fortunate bounce right into the basket.
So it's 1st and 10, Billies. At their own 24-yard line. And we'll see if Grand Island can find the formula to at least slow down this Billies offense, which has been very effective. Overcamp throws to the near side. It's caught. And staying on his feet is Peoples, and he's out to about the 36-yard line. So Daniel Peoples making a nice run after the catch there. He was one of a number of South players honored tonight on senior night here at South.
Yeah, nice catch and run. Just catch and throw by the quarterback, get it to the outside, essentially a running play.
So now it's 1st and 10, this time from the 36-yard line of the Billies.
1st and 10 on the 36-yard.
Doesn't look like Grand Island has adjusted too much, but they're disguising a little bit.
Kind of a tough play to defend, really. Here's Overcamp rolling to the right. He throws, and incomplete.
Yep, they're showing man and then dropping zone. That was they showed man-to-man and then dropped to the flat, cover 3.
Intended for Peoples, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Billies. Well, it appears the wind has calmed down a little bit. We had that brief time where it really picked up.
Good old Buffalo weather.
Yep. This really is the Windy City. Chicago's got nothing on Buffalo.
Not at all. It's adventurous.
Yeah, that's what makes living here so much fun. It's one of the reasons you came back, isn't it?
Absolutely. The weather got too boring.
Overcamp looks to throw. He throws, is batted up in the air and caught almost. That could have been easily intercepted, but alertly jumping on the ball was Isaiah Duncan. So it's a completed pass. The clock continues to move. Very little gain, if any.
Looks like they blitzed off the edge there. I'd have to see the replay, but looks like they're trying to change things up, which is needed.
3rd and 10 for the Billies. No gain on that completion. And now Overcamp throws to the near side, incomplete, intended for Duncan, and nowhere near where the player was, and I'm not sure if that was on the quarterback or the wide receiver, but that play did not work. And that'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Billies.
Big stop by Grand Island if they punt here. That's exactly what they needed, but they changed things up. They didn't stay man-to-man the full time. Showed a little bit of zone, disguised a few things, put a little bit of pressure on them. That's a good adjustment.
So South, 4th and 10 here. And they will punt way high up in the air, and nobody back there. It'll take a bounce for South for now. Hustling after it to try and down it are the Billies, and they down it at the 11-yard line. Isaiah Duncan racing down there. That's an outstanding punt and a great special teams play. Love the hustle. Hustling after the ball to down it at the 11-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Grand Island.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Will South has a traditional punch formation, which saves a lot of practice time if you just shotgun and kick it.
Yeah, that seems to be pretty much what they do.
Yeah, and I don't know, why not? Why try to recreate the wheel if you just catch it and kick it? And nothing else to do. All right, let's see how Grand Island answers here.
When whatever works. So it's 1st and 10 Vikings. They're at their own 12-yard line. See if they can put together a long drive to close the gap. And there's a handoff, and coming out of there is Dombrowski with a nice run, and he's thrown down by after a good gain. Looks like he stopped. He goes down low, keeps the legs moving, and Mong finally got him and threw him to the turf.
The strong side, trip side, so they had Will South stretched out a little bit there, and he found himself a seam.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 22 after the first down run. Nice run by Dombrowski.
Yep.
As the clock in the third quarter continues to tick away, we're down to 3:20 and counting. And we get whistles.
Yeah, it just looked like a misalignment.
And a timeout taken by Grand Island. We'll take a timeout too. Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 13. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. First and 10 for the Vikings. And Abbott hands it off to Semplinski. He tries to go around that far end. He's able to turn the corner. He's out beyond the 40 and thrown to the turf. Nice run there. Watch this.
Got to the outside, secured the edge. The outside linebackers for Will South off the line. So the edge is there to be taken.
So it's another first down for Grand Island. And now they're at their own 44-yard line, trailing by 14. This third quarter has pretty much belonged to the Vikings. And Abbott's going to keep it himself, and he's across midfield down to about the south 45 or 46-yard line. He's close to a first down.
Yeah,
we'll see if they move the chains, or if they're going to call it. They're going to move the chains, so it's another first down for Grand Island.
Yeah, he hit that hole real hard and had two hands on the ball the whole time.
They're at the 46-yard line. Look at the total yards. Grand Island's caught up here. It's 267 for South, 241 for Grand Island. Thank you to Tim Gardner for all the statistics. Here's Dombrowski, and that's not going to get much of anything. Maybe a yard there as the Billies converge on Dombrowski and stop him. Among those in on the tackle, Gavin Mong.
Yeah, D-line lockdown there.
We'll call it second down, 2nd and 9 from the 45.
This is a big drive for Grand Island. One more score, and this is a whole different ballgame.
2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Abbott takes the snap. Play action pass. He throws incomplete on the far sideline.
Will South brought pressure there. Didn't have a whole lot of time to play, but they blocked it up fairly well, but things were falling apart, so it might have caused a premature throw.
Mitch Semplinski, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up third down for Grand Island. There you see Peyton Abbott talking to Dean Santorio, the head coach. Dean with the clipboard in his hands, and he puts his hand on his quarterback's shoulder and sends him back out onto the field. Now Abbott goes under center. And he will pitch it. It's a play action to Dylan Andrews. Wanted to throw it, decides to run it, and gets a good block there. Still on his feet. Andrews running and down inside to about the 29-yard line. Good play there. And he got a couple of good blocks. Looked like he really wanted to throw it. And he got a good block from Dombrowski and another block from number 28. And it's a first down for Grand Island.
Yeah, Grand Island's driving. That little trickery didn't go as planned, but the player made play.
We're in the final minute of the third quarter, coming up on 40 seconds. And it's a 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Billies' 30-yard line. Grand Island trying to mount a comeback. Abbott looks to throw it. He throws far side. It's caught by Nucci, and he's tackled at about the 21-yard line by Nolan Holtz.
Boy, what a great throw.
Great throw.
Yeah, as we kind of a little jump throw, but got it there. Great catch. And then looked like he stretched to try to get the first down, but about a yard short. Grand Island's got something going here.
Also a great tackle by Nolan Holtz. And it's 2nd down and a yard for Grand Island as the third quarter comes to a close. After 3 quarters, Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 13. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Fourth quarter getting underway here. 2nd down and 1 for Grand Island at the South 21-yard line. Vikings threatening. And there's the handoff to Nucci. He's got the first down, and he's down to about the 15-yard line. Well, if you want to talk about a total turnaround in the third quarter, Grand Island demonstrated it. And physically and emotionally, they've got, if you want to call it, old momentum has switched jerseys. Mo has taken on the white uniforms.
Yeah, different game. Completely different game, but that last one, Will Self blitzed off the left side, and Grand Island ran to the right side, so just luck seems to be changing also.
1st and 10 from the 16-yard line for the Vikings. Abbott under center. Play action, rolls to the right, still got it, throws, he's got a man, intercepted, picked off by South. It was overthrown, and the Billies come up with the interception. A huge.
Unfortunate. It was there, and just a slight overthrow, and safety. Looks like the safety came down, made a great play.
Well, Daniel Peoples with the great interception there, a game-changing, perhaps momentum-changing play as Grand Island going in to try to make this a one-score game. Instead, South gets the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Looked like that ball stayed up a little high on Abbott, and Peoples alertly was able to get to it.
Agree, a little bit of a flyer, but unfortunate, and see what happens.
Overcamp has a man in motion. That's Duncan. He'll hand it off, and trying to get away from all those tacklers is Green. He gains maybe 2 or 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down. And now Southwell is not concerned, really overly concerned with the clock. It's all in their favor. At 7:53 and counting here in the fourth quarter. They still have a 14-point lead, and they'll want to, obviously they'd like to score, but they want to work the clock a little bit here too.
Yep. We'll see if Grand Island brings some pressure to try to force a turnover situation. Got to kind of make things happen from a Vikings perspective here.
And there's the pitch to the near side, and a short gain there by Peoples.
Yep. Nice little outside lead on the jet motion.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 from the Billies' 29-yard line. Overcamp taking his time.
Yeah, Grand Island doesn't seem to be, they're not going to pressure, it doesn't look like, but see what happens.
Green in the backfield with Overcamp. And Overcamp throws, and are they going to call that a catch?
Yep.
It's a catch.
Yep.
Nolan Holtz on the reception. And that's a South first down, and a big first down. It keeps the clock moving, keeps the chains moving.
That might have been a sight adjust. The quarterback read a blitz from the outside and just hit the receiver. Receiver saw the blitz coming, just turned and looked at the quarterback and got the ball.
Jason Green, I saw his dad before the game today, and one of the schools interested in Jason Green is Mercyhurst. There are at least 3 Western New Yorkers on that team that I know of. The 2 Lippert boys from Frontier, Austin and Alex, and then Jaden Butera from Jamestown. As Overcamp lets it fly, and it's caught. Is he in bounds? And they're going to say that's a catch. Daniel Peoples, here's the replay. He throws it up there. Peoples with a great adjustment to get that 1 foot down. And it's a first down for South,
Yeah,
first and 10.
Little pump and go. They pumped the short route, and then number 2 receiver kind of just went for the go as everybody came up.
So first and 10 South on the Grand Island half of the field. They're at the Vikings' 46-yard line. Nice catch by Peoples. Good job getting that foot in bounds. He hands it off to Green. He's in trouble in the backfield, but he escapes that trouble, gets a block from Overcamp, and he gets maybe 3 or 4 yards. Good run by Green there. He got something out of what looked like a disaster.
Yep, and that seems to be what Will South is doing. When things break down, they have the athletes to make things happen, and they're doing a great job of that.
And this drive is really taking some time off the clock. As you see, it's down to 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So 2nd down and 6 for the Billies at the Grand Island 42-yard line. Caden Overcamp awaits that shotgun snap. And he throws deep down the near sideline. Oh, intercepted. Sampliski picks it off. Are they going to say he was down? That hit the receiver's hands. Sampliski picked it off. They went deep. That pass was Pierce went off his hands. Sampliski was able to pick it off, and there's a huge break for Grand Island as they take over with 7:37 to play in the fourth quarter, trailing 27-6.
As coaches would say, we finally got a bounce, and they definitely did.
And I guess it comes down to what you do with the bounces you get or that go against you. So a good bounce there for Grand Island.
All right, see what happens here.
And this is pretty close to a must touchdown for Grand Island. And we'll see what South does here to try and make sure that they don't crank up their offense here. Here's Abbott. Back to pass. Got some time. Now he's going to run, and he's brought down about the 16 or 17-yard line. Jacob King in on the tackle, among those in on the tackle.
Nice tackle there. Yeah, Will South is showing cover 4, so they got four defenders deep. Any deep ball will be a forced ball, so maybe try to get some things underneath and work their way up the field. The underneath routes are there, especially out in the wide flats.
Now, you wouldn't call that a prevent defense, would you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Call it the old Houston Oilers defense, right?
Yeah, my wife is very smart, and she calls it the prevent you from winning defense. And I think she's right.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's see what they draw up here. 2nd
and 6. Abbott back to pass. He throws. Nice throw and catch. And Samplinski brings it in. We're going to say incomplete. Ball hit the turf. So it's 3rd down now.
No.
Oh, they gave him a first down. Instead it was complete.
Yeah.
I thought that official was signaling it was incomplete. My bad. 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
It's ticking. Time's a ticking.
So when that official ran in, I thought I saw him signal incomplete, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Big first down there to keep the drive alive. Unfortunately for Grand Island, it also keeps the clock moving.
Yeah, four shell. Looks like man.
Looks like they're coming too. Nope. Now they got him. So I think the Billies jump offside, and they do. And instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 5.
Well, that one they showed cover 0, so they were bringing the house, and that would have been an opportunity if they could have gotten it off and if they could have won a battle on the outside.
So now it's 1st and 5 from the 34-yard line for Grand Island. Nucci in the backfield with Abbott. Abbott back to pass. Here come the Billies, and they got him.
Yeah, great.
They got him all the way back at the 20. Here it is again. Everybody's coming.
Blitz defeated his block, made the tackle. Great job.
Jacob King gets credit for that sack, and it's a 1-yard loss. It'll make it 2nd and 11. Actually, it's a 6-yard loss because it was actually 1st and 5 after the offside penalty on the Billies. So 2nd down and 11. Looks like South, now they're going to drop back that time. And here comes Abbott. He's going to run. He's got some room to run. He's got a first down and then some. And he's all the way out near midfield down to about the South 47-yard line. And one South player is a little slow to get up, but he gets back up. And there's another look at the run. Abbott doing a nice job. Never gave himself up. 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
That's the chunk they needed. Things are getting interesting.
Jacob King kind of fell on him there at the end of the play. 1st and 10, Grand Island. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the game. Andrews in motion. Abbott. And down he goes. All the way back inside the 40-yard line.
They're just blocking. They're sending more to one side than can be blocked. So unless the ball's coming out quick, it's going to be a problem.
Jackson Houston, and I believe that was Ryan Ammerman on that sack, mostly Houston. But I think Ammerman helped out a little bit, and that'll bring up 2nd and 16 from the 41-yard line.
Will South showing 3 down linemen or 3 linemen, and then they got 3 backers there kind of picking their holes they want to blitz through.
Abbott back to pass one more time. He throws incomplete. Intended on the near side for Andrews. Incomplete, broken up.
Good throw on the outside. Almost had it. Just unfortunate bounce.
Broken up by number 40, Noah Red. And now it's 3rd down and 16. Billy's looking to close this one out. Now the wind is picked up again. And here come the Billies, and Abbott escapes, and he's across the 45 down to about the 48 or 49-yard line. Not nearly enough for a first down.
Brought down by Billy's number
It'll be 4th down and long, but Abbott avoided what would have been a complete disaster for the Vikings.
Yeah, he's really played hard tonight. He's taken some licks. But this is 4th and 9. It's safe to say this is probably the game.
So there's a timeout on the field. 3:21 to play in the 4th quarter. Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 13. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. So 4th and 9 for the Grand Island Vikings with the ball on the 48-yard line, their own 48-yard line, and that clock a huge factor now. Huge play here, and South possibly can seal this if they can stop them here. Here come the Billies. They pick it up, and the throw is, I think he might have been hit, and the ball falls short. It'll be 1st and 10 South at the 48-yard line. So a good defensive stand by the Billies.
Yeah, excellent stand. They brought 6 on that one, dropped 5, had an overload to one side.
So now Caden Overcamp in the offense will come back out onto the field. Kelvin is his big brother. Kelvin on senior night, one of the many South seniors honored tonight. And see how South plays this. Now, normally you would think they might want to keep it on the ground here and work the clock, but you never know with Joe Licata which way he's going to go.
Yeah, don't really see it.
Going to hand it to Green,
yep.
And they do, and there's nowhere for Green to run. And he's tackled almost immediately, maybe even lost a yard. And it'll bring up 2nd down. But the clock continues to tick. Grand Island has just 1 timeout left. You can see on the screen the little yellow line indicating how many timeouts they have. Grand Island has 1. South still has all 3 of their timeouts. Under 3 minutes to play in the game.
No urgency, just taking their time.
As they should, right? I mean, you want to work that clock.
Yep.
And there's a handoff to Green, and he's tackled on the south side of the 50-yard line for a loss. And we'll see if and when Grand Island will use that final timeout.
There it is.
Grand Island takes a timeout. So will we. 27-13 South with 2:21 to play. You're watching high school football on Western New York Athletics. Will South, look at the total yards, 300 for South, 299 for Grand Island. Well, Tim Gardner on top of those stats tonight. Thank you for that, Tim. That's incredible because at halftime, South had a huge edge. And here's Overcamp to pass. He throws deep downfield and knocked down incomplete. That could have been caught, could have been intercepted. Either way, it's incomplete, and that stops the clock and brings up a 4th down for the Billies.
They got the timeout. They got an incomplete pass, so we'll see what happens here.
South is 3-4 overall, 2-3 in the league. They're looking to get to 500 at 4-4. We're 1-3 here at home and 2-1 on the road. And they would not want to finish with a loss at home, especially after they've had they've led the entire game. So 4th and 12 for the Billies. This has got to be one of those pooch punts, no?
Yep. No.
Oh, Overcamp's going to keep it, or Green. He's going to throw it. Incomplete, intended for Farrell. And Grand Island takes over on downs.
All right, well, they opened the door. Let's see if they can walk through it.
I believe that was intended for Chris Pierce, not Farrell. And it's 1st and 10 Grand Island. Well, if we were in the business of second guessing, there might be a lot of second guessing to be done there.
Yeah, what the circumstances are, 2 minutes left. They got the ball at the 50. 2 scores to tie it. Let's see if they can execute something.
So it'll be, once again, up to the South defense to come up with a stop here. The offense has put 27 up on the board. And we'll see what the Billies can do here. 1st and 10, Peyton Abbott with a golden opportunity for the Vikings to at least cut into that lead and make it a one-score game.
Yeah.
Ball right on the 50-yard line.
Looks like they're adding the buck back in the backfield for protection.
Abbott back to pass, got some time, throws far side. Oh, dropped. Oh, dropped. Landon Guadagno is going to want that one back.
Yeah, that was there, and that's a microcosm of the way it's gone for Grand Island today. Just everything was executed well except the end product, the last part of the whole play, and could have been something big.
So it's 2nd and 10. 2:03 remaining in the 4th quarter. South up by 14. Here comes Abbott back into the huddle.
That was a great throw, too. That was right on the money.
That was a perfect throw. Unfortunately for Landon, he just couldn't hang on to it. Crisp, cool fall night here at Williamsville South.
Beautiful night.
Abbott back to pass. Throws to the far side, high, overthrown and incomplete, intended for Gavin Dombrowski. And Abbott was feeling some pressure there as South came on each edge.
Yeah,
he
I
had
think
2 guys coming at him.
Yep, and I think he had to alter his throwing angle, and that I agree with that pass, attacking the short flats and let him run up the field. The deep is not there.
Under 2 minutes to play in the game. South by 14. Abbott in trouble. Can he get away? He does. He's got some room to run.
Wow.
And Peyton Abbott's at the 30, at the 20, at the 10. Touchdown, Grand Island. Peyton Abbott goes 50 for the touchdown. Look at it again. He was in trouble. He escaped. He came to the near side, and the quarterback outran everybody for. And now it's a 27-19 game. What a play by Peyton Abbott.
Yeah, they brought the house, and there was only one place he could escape out of, and he did. And he beat everybody to the end zone. Outstanding.
So 27-19. We'll see what Coach Santorio sends his kicker out onto the field. And we have a South player on the near side getting stretched out. Hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, it looks like Abbott's down on the other side, too. Probably catching his breath.
I was going to say he probably needs some water and maybe some oxygen. Great run there.
Outstanding, yep.
So hopefully neither player, we can't see who the South player is, and you could actually see that that's Abbott, then you have very good eyesight.
Well, I saw him at the end when he was after he scored the touchdown. It looked like he came up a little bit lame, so it is a total assumption.
Well, whoever it is, hopefully they're both okay as we get set to resume the game. Looks like Luke Hutton is on to try the extra point here for Grand Island.
Yeah, it looks like cramps for both of them, I think.
Now Dylan Andrews will hold, and this will make it a 7-point game if it is good. And there's the snap. It's a little low. The kick is up.
Wow.
And good. And with 1:45 to play, Grand Island is making this a football game. It's Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 20 with 1:45 to play here in the fourth quarter. Now we know, I would think we know, it's got to be an onside kick here.
I would think so. They may have something, but I don't see traditional kickoff at all here. No timeouts left. They got to make a play for it. So we'll see what they got. You can't overload to one side, but there are things you can do with the split sides.
Well, you know they're going to, at worst, or at best, if it's not a quote-unquote onside kick, they'll bounce it, make it very difficult, I would think, for the return team to handle it and hope to get a break that way.
Yep, we'll see what they have here.
I see no way that they're kicking this deep.
No.
National League Championship Series update. The Phillies lead the Padres 3-1 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Update provided by Tim Gardner. Thank you, Tim. See, we got a little baseball. We got a little college football along with our high school football game.
Looks like this is going to be an onside kick, right?
Looks like it. And it is. Will it go 10 yards? And that's not quite far enough. That was about 8 yards, and the Grand Island player, I believe Riley Masterman, was in there trying to get it. He kicked it. I don't think that was him trying to get the ball. Yeah, they were close, but not quite. I think they needed 2 more yards.
Yeah, I think if he just lets that hit one more time.
But I don't think
it could have been something.
But he wouldn't have had a chance to get it.
Yeah. But yeah, can't touch it after 10 yards, and when you do, this is what happens. So, but a heck of a game. We'll see if Will South drains the clock.
Well, they certainly are going to be working, I would think, as one of the officials comes over to talk to Coach Licata and Coach Lester.
The Vikings were flagged for illegal onside kick procedure.
Illegal onside kick procedure is the penalty against Grand Island. So not only do you not get the onside kick, you take a penalty. But it's the ball's at the Grand Island 48-yard line.
And victory formation for Will South.
And Overcamp will take a knee. And Grand Island cannot stop the clock, so that's all Will South is going to do.
Best playing football right here.
I absolutely have to agree with that. Not the most exciting, but it's the best because you know you have the W. And that's why you play the game, to try and win. So
looks like he's sending in a play.
Well,
no.
I think they're going to kneel down again, Coach.
They got a wide receiver out here.
Yeah, I don't put anything past Coach Licata. He's added a lot of razzle-dazzle to this offense. And there's the kneel down as we are in the final minute of play. And unfortunately for the Vikings, they cannot stop the clock. So unless we get a Joe Pisarcik moment with Herm Edwards, the game will end with this score. Anybody get that?
Yep.
Joe Pisarcik and Herm Edwards, you remember that?
Yep.
Okay. I happened to be watching that game that day.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep, and the New York Giants, and I don't know how anyone ever got over that.
No.
Well,
That's a tough one.
You hear the crowd cheering for South here. As the Billies, this will be the final kneel down right here. And that will do it. And now the teams will shake hands. There's the final score, Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 20. And just a really good game. Unfortunately for Grand Island, Jim, they had the numbers and a lot of things go right in the second half, but they were a little too far behind.
Yeah. I think they just got a little too far behind and almost made up for it. But, mistakes, part of the game, and bad bounces, and it was unfortunate. But well-played game, fought hard on both sides. Pleasure.
So Williamsville South wins this one 27-20. Want to thank Mario Hall on camera, Tim Gardner, our producer and statistician, among other things. Great work, Tim and Jim Klink. Thank you for joining me. I'm Stu Boyer. Once again, the final score, Williamsville South 27, Grand Island 20. Have a good night, everybody.